everyone, Service Mike from Royal Truck and Trailer. We're at the Grand Rapids location today, and we're going to talk about the maintenance procedures for your sliding tarp system. This tarp system is an Aero Conestoga XP. We're going to start at the rear of this system. We'll start with the rear flap, which has the most amount of moving parts. We're just going to check for wear items and make sure nothing's needing to be addressed today on this system. Luckily, we're with a brand new system, so I doubt if there'll be anything that's wore out here, but these are all good things that you need to check on your system. The bottom latches are Velcro. You just want to make sure they're still holding secure, nothing's frayed and getting ready to fall apart on them. Your bungee that holds your latch on, still in good shape and not dry rotted. You're going to want to lube the hinges on your side doors so they work nice and smooth. Make sure that in case this got rubbed against any poles or any damage, it still works nice and free on both sides. Next, you'll want to inspect your rear flap and make sure there's no holes in it. Make sure your rope isn't frayed and getting ready to break, leaving you unable to raise your flap up when you get to your delivery. Just inspect it. Pulleys are working nice and straight. We'll get on a ladder and we'll lube our pulleys up there so that they stay nice and lubricated. So just want to make sure your hooks are here that you can hook your rope on to keep your tarp flap from wanting to settle down as you roll the tarp. So once you're up inside your tarp system, you're going to want to look around and just look for any fraying or any orange spots that you can start seeing light through the tarp system. You look all around the bows and just make sure there's no light coming in, because that could mean water is going to damage your load. The other thing, while we're in here, we'll look at all the bows. These bows are very nice. They're spring loaded. So you can check your pins and make sure your bows are nice and free. Okay, so we'll undo our latches and look at the lubrication and adjustment points of the rear cart. Start with a tool. Make sure the hex head is still in good shape. That fits in the latch. Unlock it. Spring load holds it up on the shelf. Everything there looks good. We'll do the same to the other side, and then we'll show you how to adjust these latches for more and less tension. Depending on how much stretch you get in your tarp, these will need to be adjusted periodically. So one of the main contentions of sliding tarp system is how much tension you want on the tarp. You don't want the tarp flopping in the wind, but then again, you don't want it so tight that it's hard on your operator to open and close it. For instance, they give you a nice long bar. When you unlock this tarp system, it shouldn't snap so hard that it tries to pull you right through the front of the bulkhead. You want it to where one person can operate it with one arm fairly easily. So to adjust the latch, it's very simple. There's a jam nut here that needs to be loosened up, and then you can turn the latch. The shorter you make this distance, the easier it's going to be to close. Get this loose. Take our jam nut loose. Get the jam nut out of the way. And then we can just put a couple of turns on the lock itself. Jam the jam nut back down. And we'll try our latch. Much easier. While you're in this area, you will make sure that this spring is holding tension. That's what helps hold our latch up out of the way so it doesn't drag along the track as we open the slider up. We'll want to get a spray lubricant and lube around these areas so that this moves nice and free. We'll also want to just spray around our threads for the latch so that it stays nice and free as the years go by. You'll want to lubricate every single area that can move. Just give it all a nice little shot and work the oil in there. Of course, this hinge is a stainless steel hinge, but still with salt and road grime, it needs to be sprayed every PM. You'll also go to the front of your trailer, undo the latches. There's a hinge on the tarp system. There's also a hinge on the bulkhead. You'll want to lubricate both of those liberally, keep those working nice and free. Spray them, keep salt and debris out of the hinges. One of the biggest challenges you're going to face with your tarp system are the wheels. When the wheels get jammed up or the bearings go bad in the wheels, it makes everything a bear. So a little maintenance goes a long way when taking care of your slider. These are steel wheels with V grooves, so you'll want to inspect your groove all the way down. This is a stainless steel insert on this aluminum track. You'll just want to make sure that there's not too much debris. You'll want to get leaves and other debris out of the way. A blowgun goes a long way with this with your safety glasses on. Just blow this track free of any debris. And then the wheels, we're just using breakaway or penetrating fluid. We'll just spray the bearings just a little bit and work the car after you spray them. While you're inspecting your tracks and your wheels and lubing them, also look at the rear bump stop to make sure that it hasn't been damaged from previous loads. If it is missing or damaged, now is a good time to replace it. This tarp system is very uniform. It's tight not only at the bottom to keep the water and rain out, but it's also tight in the middle and at the top. And the way they achieve that is through these threaded rods. There's 6 of these threaded rods, 2 on each side and 2 in the roof, that keep this rear bow in position so that this doesn't pillow and open, and it also doesn't have it to where the tarp on the top is too loose while this is too tight. It's all achieved through these threaded rods. So thanks for joining us today. I hope these suggestions for maintenance of your tarp system help you out in the future and keep your tarp system running free and clean for a long time.